Okay, to begin with, hi, I'm Dewan Parker, and I'm here to talk to you about how to tile a floor. As I talked to you earlier, I told you that I'm recording this video with my iPhone. So you may see me move through the class fairly rapidly, and that's simply because of every 2 minutes that I record, it takes 5 minutes to download this video. So what I'm going to attempt to do is get through it as quickly as possible and break it up into 3 different classes so that the download process won't be so bad. Okay, so with that said, let's get on with the class. Okay, already having technical difficulties. Alright. Okay, our lesson goal. Given the necessary tools and equipment, the student will be able to tile a floor. We all have floors in our home, apartment, or whatever it may be, and at some point in time, the question of tiling the floor will always come up. So what we want to do today is go through that process. Our target audience is adults, young adults, age 17 and older. We prefer that you have the ability to tile the floor simply because it could be a tedious process if you've never done it before. So for this particular class, we prefer that you have previous knowledge. Our individual objectives, we're going to go through this process, but this is just what we're looking at as far as each individual module, what we expect for the individual student to receive upon moving on to the next process. You have to be able to master the first individual process to move on to the next one. Instructional procedures. This class will be taught in a lecture format. Normally it's in a workshop format where the instructor interacts with the classroom student. But simply because shooting the video from recording this class from a remote location, it will be in a lecture format today. We're going to simulate the fact that it is a workshop so that the student can interact with the instructor. The materials that we need, very important. We need a towel. We actually need the floor towel pieces. We need a one-notch trowel. The notch trowel is very important because there's a number of different trowels out there, but it's extremely important that you have a notch trowel, which is particular for toweling the floor. You need one foam sponge. Of course, we need grout and thin set. For the simulation version of this class, what we normally bring is a 1x1 piece of wooded area just to simulate the actual floor itself. And then, of course, we need towel spacers. This is just a picture of exactly what type of trowel we're talking about, and of course the spacers are important too. From what I understand, the spacers come in different sizes, so you might want to look into that when you decide to begin this process. Step 1. What we want to do is our dry layout process. We want to find the midpoint of the wooden surface, which is the middle of the floor, and we want to lay our towel out, just basically so we can get a visual of what it's going to look like. You'll find sometimes that people actually start from corners, different corners of the floor, because that's a simple process for them. But at the end, what you will find, if you look in the opposite corners, you will find that the towel is often almost always crooked. And if you can live with that process, fine. But if you start from the center of the floor, most likely your floor is going to be evenly laid. This is just an example of the individual going through the process that we just discussed. He's actually going through the measurement and he's already found his center of the floor, and he's began this layout process. Okay, this next step is really the towel placement. What we want to do is apply a thin set to the wooden surface area, ensuring that the thin set is leveled and marked using the notch trowel. And then we want to position our towel as necessary. We want to insert into the gap between, we want to insert spacers into the gaps to ensure that the towel is even. So what I'm basically saying here is when you actually go through the process of laying the floor, you want to actually lay the thin set in a back and forth motion, and you want it to be smooth. Then you want to come back and you want to actually lay your towel out so that your tile is evenly spaced. And you put your spacers in, and the spacers, what that does is actually keeps the tile even when you're going through the layout process.